We're continuing a February theme of the tools I use and how they make a difference. Today, we're talking about how to conquer email dribble with a good note-taking system. Hi, this is Frank Buck, and this is the place to be if you want to get organized and make it look easy. Information used to come to us in the form of a handbook printed annually. It was our A to Z resource. Everything was in one place. Everything was organized. When you had a question, there was only one place to go. Now information dribbles in. As little changes are made, they come to us in emails. Sometimes it's new information. Sometimes it's a reminder of old information that you may already have stored somewhere. The information is no longer in one place. It tends to be all over the place, but it can be in one place, but only if you and I are the ones that organize it that way. This thought recently came to mind when I received an email regarding the upcoming music performance assessment for school bands. Even though I'm not a band director anymore, I'm still involved in that arena and receive regular communication. The email spoke of two websites to use when preparing for the sight reading portion of the music performance assessment. If I was a band director today, how would I handle that email? The answer will give you insight on how I'm able to approach the day with total control and the peace of mind that nothing is falling through the cracks. Well, first, I'm going to treat that email as an action item. I'd quickly click on each of the two links to get an idea of what I was seeing. I may realize it's information that I want to read in more detail, and reading is action. So, if need be, if it is something I want to read later, it needs to go on my to-do list. I hit forward on that email. I change the subject line to say, read this sight reading information. And I send it to the email address that Remember the Milk gives me. That email is now in Remember the Milk. There's no way that I can forget about reading the information. Now, I can tell from looking at the results of those web pages that it contains information I'd want to review about the same time every year. So again, I'm going to forward this information to Remember the Milk, but before sending, I'm going to edit that message to get rid of all extraneous text, including the signature line, and just leave those two links. Next, I'm going to edit the subject line so that the task is clear, such as review these sight reading requirements for MPA. Next to that, I'm going to put the Remember the Milk shorthand for the due date. I'm going to think right now when I want to see this information again next year and put that as part of the task line. Since I want it to repeat, I'll use the Remember the Milk shorthand, a little asterisk, and the words every year. I'll remember the milk. Now I have a task that's going to repeat every year just at the time that I want to review sight reading requirements. So I've now handled the action involved with that email. I now look at it as a potential reference item. Do I want to save it as sort of my own handbook, the handbook for my life? It could be Evernote, it could be OneNote, it could be Notion, Google Drive, OneDrive, or whatever place that I keep reference information organized by subject. If I want to put my hands on that information about sight reading, I need a place to retrieve it. But here's an important question to ask. Will that sight reading information change from year to year? If the answer is no, and that information is in its final form, I want to clip the information from those two websites. It now becomes mine forever. And I use Evernote, so I just use the Evernote web clipper. And not only does it take the URL, but it takes all of that information. If the website went away, I've still got the information in Evernote. So if the answer is yes, that the information may change, then perhaps all I want to save is in my reference system are those two links. That way, as those web pages change, The links will take me to the latest information. Of course, there's nothing to say that I can't both clip the pages and hang on to the URL. Some software will allow you to clip web information and it automatically saves the source URL for you. By the way, Evernote does that. Now that I've handled this email as an action item and then as a reference item, I make one final decision. Do I want to archive this email just in case I ever need it again? Or do I want to delete it? Now, I happen to lean toward archiving just in case there's a question about what was included in the email or when it was sent. This is the kind of thinking that allows me to trust that my task list will keep me focused on what I need to be doing, and that if anything has come my way that I'm going to need again, it's in my reference system. This gives me the peace of mind that nothing is falling through the cracks. Hey, if you enjoyed this video, you'll probably enjoy these two right over here, and subscribe to the channel so that you never miss a thing. Thanks for stopping by. This has been Frank Buck helping you get organized and make it look easy.